Welcome back to Design Bundle's YouTube channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Crystal. Today, I'm going to teach you guys how to make your very own snow globe tumbler. So if you guys didn't see, we actually made one of these for Halloween. I'll have it linked above or down below. But for that one, we actually used vegetable glycerin. And today, I'm going to show you guys how to do it with the clear Elmer's glue. Now, all you need is a double-walled insulated tumbler. So you guys can see there's actually two walls here. And then you need to drill a hole in the bottom. So I'll have a little video here so you guys can kind of check out how easy it is to drill that. The drill bit I used was 3/8 of an inch. And there's actually a couple different versions of the double-sided tumbler. So you just want to make sure that it's not going to leak. It's completely sealed. So for example, this one right here, it's double-walled and it actually changes colors inside. I found this one at Michael's. These ones right here I found on Amazon. I'll have them linked down below. I believe it was either 4 or 5 pack. Let's go over some of the supplies. Number one, you need your double-walled insulated tumbler. You're going to need a condiment. This is optional, but this is a condiment holder. This is like 98 cents at Walmart. I'll try to link one down below, maybe on Amazon, but if you guys can snag one of these locally, definitely do so. This is just going to make it a whole lot easier. You could definitely just use a paper cup or a funnel. You're going to need some clear Elmer's glue. You could definitely just buy a bottle like this, or if you're going to make multiple of them, you can buy them in big bottles like this, which is going to give you more bang for your buck. And there's even like a gallon one. So I got this one right here at Michael's. I got this one at Walmart. But just to show you guys, you can pretty much find these anywhere. And once again, all of these supplies are linked below. You're going to need some epoxy or some UV resin. So whichever one you prefer, I'm going to use the epoxy. You're going to need something to seal the bottom. So this is what most people are using. It's like a little drawer stopper, door stopper. I'll have some linked down below to Amazon. It's like a 100 pack for like $5, super affordable. There's these little circles that's going to help you seal that hole that we drilled on the bottom. You can also just apply a piece of adhesive vinyl. But something I found whenever I was at Michael's was this flex tape, and I'm going to try this today because I haven't tried it yet. So I'm just going to try a little square just to see what we think about it. This came with 2 sheets. This is definitely more expensive than this, but I wanted to show you guys an option in case you're trying to gather all of your supplies locally to make it over the weekend. There's options out there. But once again, you could definitely use adhesive vinyl as well. You're going to need a measuring cup and something to stir it with. I've seen recommendations to use something like this little spatula, because we want to stir it nice and slowly to prevent air bubbles. In my last video, I did use a straw with the vegetable glycerin. Same thing, you want to stir nice and slow. You just don't want to create a bunch of air bubbles that you're going to get stuck down in your tumbler. So a little measuring cup, you can get these at the Dollar Tree. That way you guys can keep track of your exact measurements. You're going to need distilled water, and then your glitter that you're going to put inside. There is tons of different options out there. Like these are chunky ones. So this one's more of a fine one here. These are chunky glitter. And then you can also just like get little containers like this. You can find these locally as well as Etsy. I got these ones from a seller on Etsy. And then these, for example, you can find right there at Hobby Lobby and Michael's and things like that. And then optional as well is if you want to apply some sort of design like I'm going to do. This is adhesive vinyl, permanent. I'm going to apply it on the outside. I'll have this design and the materials I use linked down below as well. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this last. I like to do my adhesive vinyl last because I don't want any of that glitter to stick to it in any sort of way. So I just save this for last, and I just set it aside. But we do have this as well as some transfer tape. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I've already drilled my hole right here. I've showed you guys a little clip how easy it is to drill these holes. All right, so another thing that you may want to do is get some tape to create yourself a funnel. This is just going to help us to prevent any of this kind of flying off here. So I'm actually going to scoot this down a little bit. I don't need it that high. So I just took 2 pieces of tape and put them back to back. Left a little piece on the end to apply it. This is just going to kind of help hold that glitter while we shake it inside. All right, so the very first thing we're doing is applying our glitter. So I'm going to start off with this chunkier one. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with this one here. I'm just going to go ahead and get me a little corner open here. And then I'm just going to get me some right on top. So all you've got to do is simply shake it like this, and it's just going to start going inside. Or you can even kind of tap it like this as well. So it does not take no time at all to get this inside. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and continue to add as much glitter as you would like. So just keep adding as much as you want. And once you're ready, you're just going to go ahead and add in your next color. So I'm just going to add in quite a bit of this one. You guys can start to see that there, looking pretty cool. So I can kind of move that around to see about how much I have. Let's go ahead and start to put in some of the smaller one. Just going to fill this up and shake. Once again, as you guys can see here, it goes in quite fast. So you can put in as little or as much as you want. You really want something right about in here at least to really have that nice glitter motion. So I think what I'm going to do, I was thinking about putting in a little bit of this holographic. I think I will. I'm going to go ahead and pour some of this on top. So this one is my fine glitter, as you guys can see here. So you guys can see now I've got about halfway with my glitter. That's what I've got going on. Once again, this is all going to mix up here in just a little bit. So I think that looks good. I'm happy with it. So now I'm ready to fill in my liquid. I'm going to go ahead and remove my lid. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of that. So you guys can see how cool that's looking. We can kind of shake that up a little bit. Just mix everybody up. You definitely don't have to do that, but you can. Just to kind of get it moving around. Because keep in mind, all of this liquid is going to have to go underneath everything. All right, to create our mixture, we need 2/3 water. I'm actually using a water bottle, but definitely use distilled water. So I'm going to do 2/3 cup water. And then we're going to do 1/3 cup of the Elmer's clear glue. I will tell you so far, using this tip is going to cause a lot of air bubbles, so I highly recommend just opening it and pouring it in. Now I'm just going to go ahead and take my spatula here and stir nice and slow. So we're going to stir this for several seconds until we get a nice clear mixture. Now we're ready to pour it into our condiment bottle. If not, you can definitely, use a funnel to get this in there. These things are like 90 cents. You may even be able to find them at the Dollar Tree. All right, just like that. We're gonna go ahead and get our lid on here. Now, like I said, if you guys have not seen our previous video, this is about a 2 to 3 day process because when we first add this in here, it's gonna look full. And if you seal off the bottom, do the epoxy, you're gonna possibly have air bubbles in here that will later come up to the top or the bottom here, if you will. And then you're going to have a big old air bubble that you're never going to be able to get out. So what you want to do is add this in there. We're going to kind of shake it down, come back in a few hours, continue to work out any air bubbles. You can take a Q-tip with alcohol and come right here on this hole here, get your bubble up there and pop them that way. Lots of different techniques on that, but you definitely just want to kind of work out those air bubbles and continue to add fluid over the next, day or two. 1 to 3 days is what process this takes. But you can work on multiple at one time. This would be a great gift to give as a Christmas gift or to simply make for yourself. All right, so we're ready to add this in. I'm just gonna go ahead and tilt my cup like this, and then we're just gonna go ahead and start to add the fluid inside. So hopefully you guys can kind of see that going down. If you guys can already see those air bubbles coming through there. So we've already got several coming up to the top. Now, I've only got this much fluid because this has got to work its way down. So some people leave it like this. They'll set it aside, let it start to work its way down. Or you can simply, put your finger over it and start to kind of work it through that glitter. So you can kind of shake it around and really get it to go underneath your glitter. So what I like to do is I just do like a tilting back and forth until I can really get that to work its way down. At this point, I've got it about halfway with fluid. I need to bring in a little bit more because it's worked its way down. So I'm going to go ahead and just squeeze in a little bit more. And then I'm going to let mine set for a few hours. I'll come back, I'll rotate it. And so I'll come back to you guys once I've got all of my liquid down. Once again, this could take 1 to 3 days to really work this down. Lots of different methods out there. So it just needs to go ahead and seep underneath. So we'll come back, we'll rotate it, and check it in a few hours. It's been a whole 24 hours and our tumbler is ready. So you guys can see this starting to move down here, hopefully. With the glue mixture, this definitely has a way slower movement, which I really love. Now, I will tell you guys, I definitely overfilled this one with glitter because you guys know I did right about here with the glitter. But you guys know that it is a struggle when you do that. You really want to put maybe about this much glitter in your tumblers to really get it to move nicely. But if you put a really thick layer, it takes a while to get all of this liquid underneath all of this glitter here. But I'm going to show you guys a trick really quick. I'm going to pop a video up here to show you guys. My husband stuck a sanding tool. We didn't stick the sander to it, but the buzzing. So the side of the drill or you could do hair clippers, anything that has a buzzing to it, you're just going to hold it there and it's going to work all of that glitter down in seconds. It took us less than 1 minute to take all of that glitter that had got clogged up there and couldn't move. It just moved everything down so quick. So if you guys have anything that has a little bit of a buzz to it, whether, you know, in your kitchen you guys have like a whisk or anything like that, just stick the side of it, the plastic, not anything that's going to tear your tumblers, but the side of whatever it is, and it will work it down. And you're just going to hold it in this direction here, and it will bring it down. But like I said, check that out. It really, really worked. Now, you guys can see I've got one air bubble left, and if I didn't already apply something on the bottom, you simply bring it down to your hole. You're going to take a Q-tip with alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and stick it on that hole and it will pop that bubble like that. But I've already put a piece of this flex tape on here and I don't want to pull it off again. So I do have one air bubble trapped, but I'll take it. This has only been 24 hours. I didn't have to sit here and wait, 3 days. So it will speed this up. So you guys can invest in something that you can keep on hand that has a buzzing to it that is just for your tumblers. This is going to help work out all those air bubbles. It's going to help move that glitter. So that's a little tip from me. I don't know if anybody has discovered it yet, so I'm so excited about that. All right, so now we are ready to apply our adhesive vinyl. So I'm not going to put my epoxy on here until I've got my vinyl. That way I can put my epoxy, set it aside, let it dry for, a few hours or overnight, and then it'll be ready to go so it's complete. So if you guys want to see that, definitely check out our other video because I'm going to pop this on and then put the epoxy and then we're pretty much going to wrap it up. So what we're going to do for our adhesive is you want to take some rubbing alcohol here and you definitely want to take like a lint-free cloth and just remove any sort of oil, especially since we've been working with, all this glue and everything else, just to make sure there's nothing going to prevent this adhesive for lasting without, sticking and stuff. So like I said, this flex tape really quick before I jump in here, I just cut down a little square and put it right over that hole. So I just cut off any remaining. So it's only inside of this dip here, which is where we're going to put the epoxy. So you can definitely just use the little circles that go down in there. Once again, those are linked that everybody's using, but this tape definitely worked out amazing. So what I was able to do was put this over it last night. And then I was able to set it in this direction to kind of get those bubbles as well. So I could put it, I could put the buzzer against it, not have to worry about anything coming out because this thing seals it. And you can still pull this off. It's super, super sticky, but you can definitely peel it off. It doesn't take no time, but it does seal it. So that way we can move them around and do whatever we want. So I do recommend this stuff. And really, I could have cut an even smaller square. It is a little bit yucky with the scissors, so maybe designate some scissors to it, but I do think we can clean those scissors easy with rubbing alcohol. All right, so we've talked about the flex tape. I'll link some down for you guys, but let's go ahead and start putting down our adhesive vinyl. I'm going to start with my main piece, which is this black. I'm going to go ahead and weed everything out really quickly. Now that I have everything weeded out, I'm going to go ahead and go with our first layer here. So it's going to be our little snowman. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick this up with some transfer tape here. Flip it over, get a corner. And the way that I'm going to do this on this round surface is I'm going to go down like a taco. So I'm going to kind of figure out where I want it to be. I can also go all the way down at the bottom. I think I'm going to stick around in the center here. Go down like a taco right here in the middle. And then work my way out. Applying it to these tumblers here where it's not just completely round like an ornament is not bad at all. Then you can use your fingers. You could definitely come back in with your little squeegee, smooth everything out. Now, whenever it comes to applying adhesive vinyl to, something you're going to wash, I always say to let it set for about 48 to 72 hours. So we're just going to go ahead and peel this. just like so. I'm gonna pick up my next piece. Get ready to pop it in here. Once again, going from the center, working my way out, just like that. Take my little squeegee and peel. Just like that. Look how cute that's coming out. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my hearts. Just like so. I'm going to pop those down and peel. Just like that. How super cute is this? And then all you have left is getting your straw inside and this. So just like that, you have your snow globe tumbler. This one is like a little snow theme for the holidays. This will last you like all winter long. This isn't just Christmas theme. This is definitely winter theme. So this is a perfect project. Now, once again, if you guys don't want a really saturated glitter, definitely stick with, you know, about a half or a quarter. I would say maybe a half of an inch of glitter. And don't do like I did of like 3 inches deep of glitter. But if you want something that's pretty much like a glitter tumbler where it looks like those ones that you would do with epoxy, you could definitely do as much as I did to really get that. And there you guys have it. Super duper cute. So you guys can see my little air bubble there. Once again, I definitely could pop this off, move it down here, get a Q-tip once again with the rubbing alcohol and get that out to put that back. But I'm just going to leave it. So what I have to do now is I'm going to take this back off. I just wanted to show you guys the complete project. I'm going to go ahead and take some of the epoxy, get a nice even amount on a little container with a toothpick, and then I'm just going to fill this. Once again, definitely check this video above or down below to go all the way to the end of the video, and you guys will definitely see that. And then once you're done, let it set for a few hours or a whole entire day, and you're good to go. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys found it helpful. If you did, please hit the like button down below and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.